Middle East now on the brink. Air raid sirens heard yet again today in Tel Aviv, Israel. It was a morning of heavy rocket fire from Gaza aimed into Israel. Ambassador Dan Gillerman is in Tel Aviv now. He's the former Israeli ambassador to the UN, and he is with me now. There's a bit of delay on the signal, so be patient with us. And Mr. Ambassador, here is the question. Will Israel start a ground invasion of Gaza?
Well, Bill, Israel started this in order to finish it. It started it because the situation became unbearable and the Prime Minister decided that enough was enough. No other country in the world, certainly not the United States, would stand for 1 minute for what Israel has taken over the last few years, where over 1 million of its people are under threat and under rocket attack, and children sleep in air raid shelters and cannot go to school. So Israel is going to finish the job. We have an evil, brutal enemy in Gaza. Hamas is nothing but a bloody proxy of Iran, which is intent on destroying Israel. And we will not just put it to sleep so it can wake up again and raise its ugly head and continue this devastation of Israeli cities and villages and schools and kindergartens. We will finish the job, and if it takes ground troops, if it takes an all-out war, we will make sure that Hamas will never again be in a position to disrupt and destroy, literally destroy, Israeli lives.
Based on that answer, sir, I take your answer to be a yes to my question. Is that right?
Well, I cannot tell you what the exact plans of the military are. Obviously, they're kept very secret and decided according to developments on the ground. All I'm saying is that, we will not allow this evil snake to keep raising its head and biting us. You have to understand what is happening here, Bill. I mean, they are intent on killing as many Israelis, women, children, and babies, innocent people, as possible. And even in this operation now, you can see the distinction between us. We being very cautious, very surgical, very accurate, while they are actually aiming rockets at our cities, including Tel Aviv, but many, many cities in the south. And in fact, while for us, every dead Palestinian child is a tragedy and a mistake, for them, every dead Israeli child is a success and a cause for celebration. And this has to stop, and we will stop it.
I'm just reading now, sir, off the Associated Press urgent wire here that Israel is calling up 16,000 reservists ahead of a possible Gaza invasion. I'm also reading by way of Reuters, air raid sirens are sounding in Jerusalem at the moment, so we will see what comes of that. The circumstances, as you well know, in that region of the world are very different than they were even 2 years ago. The Egyptian government apparently is offering support on behalf of Hamas during this current conflict. How significant is that, and how does that change the dynamic for the possibility of war yet again with Israel and Hamas?
Well, Bill, we live in a very tough neighborhood, and we're in fact a villa in the jungle, and this jungle is becoming more violent and more ugly every day. You can see how Assad is butchering over 30,000 innocent Syrian civilians. The Muslim Brotherhood has taken over in Egypt and is ruling it in a way which I'm sure the young people in Tahrir Square did not aspire to. But the visit today of the Egyptian Prime Minister to Hamas was a very symbolic move. Hamas kept firing hundreds of rockets while he was there, while we kept him safe. But let me tell you something from experience and also from the time I was at the UN. Make no mistake, the Egyptians and the other Arab countries have very little love lost for the Palestinians. They do not love them, they do not sympathize with them, they use them as an alibi and as a tool in their internal fights. But believe me, if I told you the number of Arab kings, sultans, emirs and presidents who came to me during the last time we went into Gaza and said, "Go girl, finish the job, don't stop." And they were yearning for us to finish them off. And in a way, I'm not sure this is not the case now. Don't believe everything the Egyptian president says publicly. Listen to him privately and you'll get a totally different picture.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for your time. One of your many hats these days is to be a Fox News contributor. We will lean on you heavily to get us a better understanding from the Israeli perspective. Associated Press reporting air raid sirens now wailing in Jerusalem. We'll see what comes of this. Martha.